The special guest we have is, drumroll,
Cody Schlimme.
Schlim.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
He came with us last year as apprentice and got his feet wet this year and a little bit of spring bear guiding. Did a great job for us. Was very successful, not just in kills, or was what I'm talking about is giving a good time and showing people the experience in the mountains that we're trying to do as a company. So we did help you find the love of your life.
Yeah,
The
I
waypoint's been good for you, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
real good.
So Cody comes out as an apprentice, which, I mean, this never happens. Josh and John and all the guys that came out for guide school years ago probably wish this would have happened to them. But Cody comes out as an apprentice. A repeat client of ours came out with his daughter, who is beautiful. And my girls had a little bit to do with this, but they saw that they would make a very cute couple, Cody and Sydney.
We're just telling this guy's life here.
Well, I mean, it's hilarious because who would have ever thought this was going to happen? Anyway, Cody's Snapchat gets into Sydney's lunch bag and vice versa because the girls got into that and set this whole thing up. And now they are like just happily going on. How many months have you been together?
Almost 6.
6 months. She's going to come out here in August with him to scout a little bit.
Well, they were clients, but thanks a lot, Cody. That'll come out of your pay.
Don't ever have to book with us again.
Now we got to do the family discount.
Sydney's dad was all on board with it.
Oh,
He
I
probably
guarantee
thought
it.
that too.
Guaranteed.
He's probably like, this is my way to Elkhorn every year.
So we're going to sit down and just talk about some crazy stuff and introduce him to everybody that doesn't know him from last year's hunting or this spring.
So one thing we should go over is how he ended up with us as an apprentice. Do you know how you ended up with us as an apprentice?
Yeah, I was going to school to be an electrician. Like, I was going to high school half a day, and then I was learning to be an electrician half a day. And I was looking at apprenticeships for it. And this is something I always wanted to do. So one day I got on the internet and saw they did apprenticeships for this, and I found you guys, and then I messaged Morgan.
Yeah, I remember that. We put out a thing that we needed, an advertisement that we needed apprentices, and we interviewed a lot over the phone, but the reason that we ended up choosing you was your family was very involved in the whole thing with phone conversations and what you needed to come out, and you all took it very seriously of, having a working truck, good tires, all those kinds of things to come out and apprentice with us.
Yeah, your dad was a super cool guy. Him and I hit it off right off the bat.
Yeah.
You guys are hound people. Yeah, a lot of like things in common.
Mm-hmm.
So that just made it easy. So all this hunting, your abilities of hunting, we got to know who's to give credit for this.
100% my dad.
I already knew the answer to this.
Yeah, just being in the outdoors ever since I could move, not even walk. Like, my earliest memories are just bouncing through fields, checking fox traps with my dad. So I was always around, just understanding ever since I could understand anything about hunting and just taking animals at, what it's about and what it's for. So, and then, yeah, just always in the woods growing up. I was never an inside kid. My dad would always get on me if I was inside too much, and then that got out of me pretty quick. So always running around training coon hounds, deer hunting, turkey hunting, squirrel hunting, just anything that was in season that I could possibly do, I'd try to do. So I definitely contributed that a lot to my dad, because especially growing up in Pennsylvania, a lot of it's just sitting in tree stands, but during rifle season, my dad would always get me walking on the ground, still hunting, stalking, learning how to maneuver in the woods quiet, just reading sign to get on the animals, and just all that kind of stuff that just builds up to come out here, because it's pretty similar, the terrain and the layout, but it's just sized up and a little bit different. So that helped a lot, and yeah,
we could definitely tell that he he hunted with you a lot. You were constantly doing something in the outdoors. Just by some of the conversations we had before you even stepped foot on in any of the mountains out here, that you guys have hunted together a lot, and he's taught you a lot, which is pretty cool for him. I know he's super proud of you, and I know your mom is too, because they text me and I fill them in on some of the stuff you're doing, because I know his mom always wanted filled in on what he was doing, but yeah, they're super proud, and it's kind of cool to see that, like, I bet he would have never thought, like, when you were little, just running around squirrel hunting or something, that it was going to translate into something like a career for you.
Yeah, like, when I got the opportunity, it's like, I don't care what you're doing, you have to do this. Like, you can't let this go, because, like, you're never going to be able to do this again if you don't.
Yeah.
Didn't an opportunity like this pass him up or something?
Yeah, he had a really good job welding, and he had the opportunity, but, like, just the work he was doing was way better money than what he was going to make guiding, so he just passed. And he said that it's one of his biggest regrets not going out here and doing it. But so when I had the opportunity, he was all in for it.
Yeah.
He was like, you have to do this. If you want to do it, you have to right now, or you're never going to.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know they're super proud of you for it. We're super happy to have you part of the team. I'm very excited to see what you do this rifle season and shadowing a little bit more in archery season.
How'd you feel about the whole atmosphere as soon as you got here? First impressions.
Well, when I first got here, I noticed just everyone was just already super just welcoming. Like, there was not a time when I first got here that I felt like a stranger. Like, I mean, you guys went and floated the river, and I got there 20 minutes ago, and you guys invited me along, and that was a great way of just getting to know everyone.
You fit in right in. I know as soon as they started picking on you, they like you. Morgan, old mother hen over here, she's worried about all the serious stuff, talking to your parents and things, but you came out here, you're becoming a man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You out of school, you get to be your own person finally.
Yeah, for sure.
And you stepped up to the plate and did a heck of a good job for us. And I want to thank you personally, while we're on this, for doing a good job for us.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, it was awesome. So as an apprentice, let's just dive into the first bits of it. How was that? Because it would be nice to hear from you. We like to think that our way of doing it is a good way for guides to, like, actually step into a guiding position and knowing what to do.
No, yeah, it was awesome. Like, as soon as I got here, you were sending me places to go, just exploring, learning the area. And then once archery season got here, I was with you most of the year, and I learned so much. Just, you were breaking it down for the clients, but also in a different way breaking it down for me, and just, like, teaching me how to deal with them and just kind of what to do in different situations. And
I think the clients liked it too.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I would be like, we got to have class for a minute. And they would sit and listen to exactly what we were talking about. And I think it made them understand more how their role in it also, and how we needed them to participate, so that it's a team effort. It's not just like the guides out there doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of, like, going to guide school, because there's only a few different routes. I mean, you're either born into it, like Wade's going to have a very good avenue into guiding just because it's what we do. And then you could go to guide school, or you find apprentice places. And I like to think that the apprentice program works good. The only thing is you can't do big numbers. I mean, we narrow it down to only 1 or 2 people a year.
Right.
And, like, this year we weren't really even looking for anybody, just because we don't really need the roster any fuller than it's pretty good right now.
Yeah, like, I think the apprenticeship's the way to go, at least for me, because I just learn by doing stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, sitting in a class being taught that stuff wouldn't, like, resonate with me as well as being in the woods with the clients and just getting the experience, just kind of not even in the background, just being a smaller part of it than the guide itself.
Yeah, you can just sit. You get to help out, kind of do a lot of the things for the clients, like learning the small role. You're like a little butler for them. Right. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
You mean, go fill your water bottle up the creek. Anything you can do that helps on the money aspect, because the money sucks as an apprentice, huh? That part's no good.
Yeah, I mean, the tips were pretty good, but no
Yep.
paycheck was a little rough, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, like, the way you guys do it, it's not that bad, really.
Yeah, we try to make sure you make something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're not
right.
using you up. And then this industry, I've said it on multiple podcasts, yeah, it can get used up pretty easy.
Yeah.
People like to use people.
Yeah, and I never got that feeling one time. Like,
That's-
I never thought, like, man, he's just doing this to...
Yeah, he's sending me out scouting.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or things like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, I'm not doing the dirty work or anything.
Yeah, we save that for Wade, but then he doesn't do it.
And you already came out here with a lot of hunting knowledge, so it was nice just to be able to see the guides not having to help you with like hunting knowledge and kind of where to go. You were already coming up with your own hunts fast. You can read sign and all of that. We didn't have to go. None of the guides had to go over that with you. You were already good on that, and then it was just really fine tuning how to deal with all the different kinds of clients that we get in here.
If you have confidence in the woods, that's mainly what I'm looking for. If you're timid and shy, it's very hard for someone to perform in big country because that dictates a lot what you do because you don't want to do certain things. You don't want to get in jams, you know what I mean? And once you get into some jams, you need to know that the crew's there to get you out of them, and we can dive into that. I started thinking about it, and my brain just started shooting words out. We could have skipped right into it, but
well, the thing is, a lot of apprentices come out and they think, well, I'm gonna do a couple weeks and then I'm gonna jump right into getting paid as a guide, and we make you do that archery season, rifle season, stay on for mountain lion if you can, and then spring bear and spring turkey is just nice and laid back, and then we can really like help you and put you in with the correct kind of clients as like a way to ease in to see how you're going to do when the pressure is on. And I think this bear season you did really well. Couple mishaps, but you did really well.
let's just say it. Let's just dive into that so we can.
All right.
What do we know about hydration, Cody?
It's very important.
Very important in Western
Necessary.
hunting. Yes. It is crucial, we should say.
You need to be hydrated.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Cody is a very tough person, and people listening to this, I spent some time with this kid, and we've been in some terrible situations, and he cramped himself up.
Yep.
Locked up.
Bad. Real bad.
And your dad had said that you've cramped up like this because you used to play a lot of hockey, like not just for hobby leagues there at your local skating rink. You played serious league hockey all over the place.
Yep.
And so you know about hydration and all that.
Yeah.
He says that creatine caused this problem. So anybody out there eating creatine, you better be careful.
Yeah. Or at least drink a lot of water if you're taking it. But what happened was it was Wednesday, shot the bear.
So very first week ever guiding.
Yeah, ever guiding. First week ever. Glassed these bears up on Tuesday. Made a move on them Wednesday morning. Didn't think about hydration because I was just all excited about it. I couldn't sleep. Just all excited. All I wanted to do was just go in there and get on them. I had 2 Nalgene bottles in 3 days while taking creatine, which does dehydrate you even more. So you get down, get the bear shot, and then we're going to look for it. And I'm pretty sure I was more excited than the client. So I was running up and down this hill like an idiot trying to find this bear. Get it found, get like some pictures and stuff. It's about 10:30 in the morning by this point. And I'd sit down to start cleaning and I'm like, man, I got a headache. So I was like, maybe I just overworked myself a little bit running around. So get the bear skin up, get it cleaned up, get everything in bags, everything loaded. And I did finish my water bottle. And there's a little runoff stream, so I fill my water bottle up. Get ready to go. I just know I didn't feel right. But can't waste any time getting out because still had another client who actually missed the bear right after that to get on one. And if we get back early enough, we can go out the evening. And so we start walking up the hill. And, I mean, I have 4 quarters on my back, but small bear, and it's not too terribly heavy. It's not like an elk or anything. And this is a really, really steep hill. Like, it's it's not a nice hill.
This is a mountain.
Yeah, it's a mountain, sure. So we get about halfway. We're going pretty slow, just taking our time, pacing ourselves pretty well. Just doing like 100-yard pushes, take a 2-minute break. Get about halfway up. My knee starts tightening up. I'm just figured sitting for 2 days and just a little locked up, I guess, like a little stiff. So figure I could just walk it out, and then I walk 50 yards, it happens again. And then I do 100 yards, it happens, I just walk through it. Then my other knee starts doing it, and I start thinking this might be a problem. And then the 100 yards pushes go to 50-yard pushes, go to 25-yard pushes, until the point where I'd walk 2 steps, and then I'd have to just drop down because the inside of my knee and my hamstrings were just locking up. Like, I've never felt anything like that before. Like, I just fall to the ground, and it'd just be extreme pain for about 5 minutes until it settled down. So I figure I just need to take a 10-15 minute break. I do. Feels better. I get up, take 2 steps, it happens again. And then I realize I'm in trouble. So I drink all the rest of my water. The clients gave me a little bit of water. I'm just eating hydration packets. And then it just doesn't get better. Every time I make the smallest movement with either of my legs, it just cinch up. And it'd just be excruciating. So I figured I'd feel better. I was texting Morgan a little bit. And then like a few hours go by, I'm starting to feel bad for the clients because they're just sitting there and they want to get out. And I try to get up and it doesn't work. And then I was like, oh man, this is not good. And then Morgan was texting me, and it just.
I'm getting bits and pieces. So he's trying to, obviously, a man trying to play it down, way down.
Before we get into the help coming, I know the feeling you had because I've been in your shoes. You know what I mean? I'm a guide at heart. I know when you strapped that bear up on you were thinking about walking through that door right there at supper time, and the look on all of our faces, and the handshakes, and you're just playing it in your brain because you just can't wait to get back, and you did your job exactly right. You can't wait to walk through there. You're going to do some bragging.
Yeah.
And those dreams just slowly faded into an abyss.
Yeah, it went from like the best day ever to a terrible day.
So I'm here at the lodge. Tanner and I are working on the lodge, and I'm getting bits and pieces of this back and forth. And Morgan's trying to explain because she's getting some of the messages. And
yeah, so Jay is in about the same area, and he has our apprentice
with
this
a
year,
combat veteran medic
that has some experience, but apparently not in dehydration. So he's making it over. I'm getting texts like way too late.
Dirt tells us that what he knows in the military is they get this big rod that's frozen and they shove it up your butt and it cools you down. So Tanner and I are making phone calls trying to find one of these things.
To make your day even worse.
Yeah, that would have been real nice.
So Dirt's called in to help out and get everything up. He messages us and says that I'm going to need more help. Cody's still down. Even though I'm taking the pack, it's not going to be able to do anything. His legs are cramped up. He can't move. I'm like, what in the world? How is this happening? So Tanner's super excited. Any of you that are listening that know old Tanner, he's excited to go in here to help.
He loves rescue missions.
Oh yeah, he can't wait. He was rehearsing for the 20-minute drive. What he was going to tell you the first thing when he saw you, what kind of puss bag you were, this and that. And he felt so bad for you seeing you locked up like that he didn't even tell you.
When Morgan texted me that said Josh and Tanner are coming, I was like, oh no, I'm never going to hear the end of it the whole way up.
Yeah, so 6 hours go by, and your family found out. They started worrying, which made me, actually worry.
Yeah, they overreacted like crazy. They thought I was dying.
Yep, they wanted you life-flighted out of there.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Which I was trying to explain and keep everybody very calm that dehydration does some weird stuff. We've seen it happen to a lot of people, and we just wanted to get you out of there. But
I feel like I know Cody pretty well as a person, and I knew that he would probably rather be shot and thrown off that hill than us help him. But when Dirt said he needs help, then I kind of got a little nervous. So we get in there, and you have your boots off. I gotta tell this part. I felt terrible for you. We were gonna have to like drag you up out of there, and you're like, how are you getting me out of here? We're like, we're gonna throw you on our backs and pack you. And you go, dude, I don't know if I can move. Tanner goes, you can bite a hold of this stick and scream, or I can knock you out.
He did say that. So that's honestly less than what I thought he was gonna say.
Yeah, he felt bad for you because he knows went from hero to zero. Daggum. Yeah, I went to help him put his boots on, and he looked right at me. And I'm not for certain if a tear didn't roll down your eye. He goes, no man's helping me put my boots on. And I was like, all right, bro. I know how OCD you are about your socks. They're going to get a little dirty. So up out of there we come. And Dirt, he had some experience with how we had to grab you up. And it actually wasn't bad. For real, it wasn't that bad. You're a lot heavier than what I thought, but
Thanks.
thanks. All that bulking we were doing all spring.
Too much creatine.
Yeah.
very first week of you guiding, third day, 2 clients, 1 bear killed, 1 opportunity. You could have came in here just with all bragging rights.
I never had to tell clients not to hurt my guide, make sure they brought him back.
The clients were really cool about it, though. They didn't care. They had a great time, I think. You got them on how many different bears that week?
That they had an opportunity
Yeah.
or that we saw?
Well, both.
They could have, they killed the one bear and then missed the bear. And then there's one other one that they had a pretty decent opportunity with. But just couldn't get on it quick enough.
Yeah. And then how many bears did you end up seeing that week?
Over 10.
Okay. And that was the first week of May.
Yeah.
So
It's been a good bear season, honestly.
So poor Cody now has a story stuck to him. You don't have a nickname yet. I'm surprised
Nope.
you didn't get a nickname from that.
Yeah, me too.
If anyone has any suggestions, just let us know.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, boy. Yeah, but, like, the way you guys carried me out, like, Josh was under one of my arms and Dirt was under the other. And, like, my feet I was just kind of, like, moving my legs a little bit because they weren't cramping up like I thought they were. And I was just kind of, like, stabilizing myself and them coming up the hill. And by the time we got to, like, the little trail, I could gimp out of there. I could.
Tanner drank all the water we were supposed to bring in for you. Yeah, no, once we got back up to the trail, your legs had loosened up.
Yeah, I think I just needed more blood to them and just, like, to move them a little bit without putting all my weight on them.
I think that whole experience was for Dirt. You had to just be the guinea pig on it. But yeah, he came to us, and he came from a military background and that, and he's like been missing, like, I think a little bit of that in his that like band of brothers like we talked about. And his first week of helping out, we get the rescue mission and all that. He pulled me to the side as soon as we got to the top of the hill, and that's what he said. This is awesome.
Well, I'm glad he got to enjoy that.
Yeah. Nope. You survived. Everybody lived.
I made it.
But the bear.
Yep.
Nice little boar bear.
Yeah,
Not a giant, but it was a nice
It
bear.
was pretty small, but it was nice.
Mature bear.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was perfect. The situation where I did cramp up because we were right over a little bit of snow, so we were able to get the meat. Because it was pretty warm that day. We were able to get all the game bags buried up in that snow so it doesn't get hot or nothing.
Yeah, and you can. The nice thing with bears, it's crazy. I was telling you about your backpacks. Like when you pack elk, I swear you don't even. The next day you can smell it on your
It's
backpack.
gross.
A bear, you can go all season and not wash your pack. I don't know if the grease grimes it in there and seals it off that it doesn't rot, but it doesn't smell or like spoil near as fast as elk or deer meat. It's wild. I'm sure there's some type of scientific reasoning for that, but much easier to cool down.
One thing about that week that I want to touch on is the clients that you had. They came out very prepared as far as like glassing.
Yeah, they were excellent glassers. Like I could just If they didn't find one of the bears, if I just found one by myself, I could just give them small little hints, like kind of 100 yards down from this hill in this group of trees next to this little opening, and they'd find it just instantly almost. They were super good on the binoculars, and
They hunted the whole time.
yeah, there was not a single moment where they were out of it. They were just in it the whole time. Like they worked for that kill for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was really impressed by that. So they did not do a lot of research on our outfit. They booked a hunt at one of the shows after meeting us, but not very tech savvy, didn't have social media or anything, didn't do a lot of get a lot of background information on us, but they were really good hunters as far as just sitting down, and they could glass from sun up to sundown. You said they did really well hiking.
Yeah, they were great hikers
They were
too.
they were from the Midwest, so they were that being patient type of hunting. They were pretty good at that.
Yeah, and there was no waiting for them really for an extended period of time. Like they kept with me the whole time, going to the glass and knobs, packing, trying to find the bear.
Getting our ethics and morals and that it's an adventurous mountain hunt was harder to get through to them than
for sure.
This is where you pay to kill something.
They came into the week just wanting to kill. And by the end of the week, I just kind of imprinted into their mind that it's not only about killing. Like, you're not at work, you're in Montana, you're bear hunting, We're seeing all these animals. It's a nice week. And by the end of the week, they were just appreciating the small things, too, instead of just shooting bears.
And that kicks back to, apprenticing last year with me, because you and I, we actually even broke it down a couple nights after supper, how you could break that barrier with them to get in.
Right.
And it helped out. You did a great job with that. That was the first hurdle. I saw it right off. I was like, uh-oh. And you pulled them right in, and they were on board with everything in that style of hunting. They they fully accepted it. Western mountain hunting.
Right.
It was a very, very good job.
The other two guys.
It was harder to sell on them. I don't know if they had as good a time as your clients. In fact, I know they didn't. Yeah, it was more difficult to sell them on how we have to hunt for it instead of shooting them.
You can't just shoot from every glass knob. You gotta be able to move, and
the glassing knobs are for finding stuff.
Just because you see the bear doesn't mean you're gonna kill it. Finding it's one part. Getting on it and killing it's another part.
Yeah. You can see lots of stuff Western hunting, glassing, big areas, whether you can, almost most of the animals, they're not huntable.
Right.
You're just waiting for an animal in a huntable place, and that's hard to get over to people.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you're used to sitting in a tree stand, and anything that you can see is in killing range. That's what your brain just gets used to hunting and hunting, and that's...
Right, we'd be sitting on a glass knob, and we'd see a bear. He's like, how far is that bear? And be like, 1,800 yards. He goes, why are we sitting 1,800 yards away from it? But you gotta explain. We drop down here, depending upon where they are, and then it turns into 400 or 500 or 300.
These animals, they're not coming out in the corner of your field. Right. They're hard to pattern down. They're looking for a certain food source, but that food source is popping up at certain elevations clear across the canyon. So these animals move great distances. You could sit there till you died of old age in some places before one popped out 300 yards from you.
Right. Especially something like a bear, because they just never stop.
Yeah. It's the easiest dead giveaway, though, when you glass them up.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Can't sit still. Remember our archery when we would come out of the same canyon that you cramped up on? You got to see me and the client kind of get into it a little bit, and how we didn't yell at each other a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to see it with ups and downs, and being an apprentice, that was probably crucial.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And then you and I getting to talk about it. You can't ruin it, but you got to learn to get them up the mountain, right? Because they want to give up on you, but you as a guide, you've guided so many people on that same type of hill. You know they can do it. You had to do some motivational speaking, lying slightly about yardages.
Almost there. I got past my limit of that. Now I had to come up with a new one.
Yeah. Those are all little guide things. It's funny. Just 200 more yards. The clients, they know that gig. Some of them
Any repeat client knows that just 200 more yards means probably another mile, and they're just trying to get you pushed. But
Well, we're already 3/4 of the way there, so
yeah.
close enough.
And what I like to point out about Spring Bear a lot is that we do get a lot of youth hunters in Spring Bear, because with us, youth hunting is free. We'll always do that, but it's a good way for dads to bring their kids out, kind of get their feet wet with Western hunting, see if they would do good. The youth hunters this year, they didn't do too bad, but it is a lot of work. These mountains don't care how old you are.
Right, yeah.
So your youth hunter was struggling just a little bit but they're from Florida.
Yeah.
And
It's a little bit different than Florida.
The dad came out with us a couple years ago for rifle elk hunting, and he was very prepared after a couple years. He took it very seriously and came out in a lot better shape, knew what to expect. But if you try and tell a teenager what's going to happen, they don't listen to you anyway.
Yeah.
So I think once they come out, they're going to come back out this rifle season. I think he's going to know what to expect this time. But
Yeah, he did good. It was just he needed a little bit of motivation every now and then.
Yeah.
Because just getting beat down and just need to pass that threshold of, I can't do this till I'm going to do this.
it's a lot to get used to, especially only in a 5-day hunt.
Definitely.
And they ended up having an opportunity as well. So you're about, you're 75% opportunity on bear, and then we can go right into turkey, because you did really well on turkey with Bubba.
Yeah. It was an awesome week. He came out for a combo hunt, but wasn't really into bear hunting and couldn't really bear hunt because he had a bum knee. So he's a big turkey hunter. So first morning, we have these birds roosted, and they hop down, come right to us like they should have. And he goes to shoot one, and his gun doesn't go off. Something weird happened, and he racks it again. It doesn't go off, and these birds just scatter. And we were all upset about it. And then we keep hunting. First day wasn't that good. Then the second day, call bird in, just doesn't give him that 100% perfect shot, so he didn't take it, which is good. Better than wounding one. And then third day comes around. It's Wednesday now. Had this bird come in 45 yards. It's just tiny bit too far for him. And then just hearing gobbles all day. And just getting on turkey after turkey after turkey. But sometimes they just don't work out. They get hung up. They get spooked by something weird. And then Thursday, we had this bird just dialed in. You top down, they're coming in, and then a Jake slips in, silent. Comes in 20 yards. And after the week he was having a rough week with chances and gun not going off. He just smokes this Jake, and he was happier than he could be, and he was just wanting more. So he went and got his other tag, and Friday afternoon, it was 1 o'clock. We weren't hearing anything. All Friday morning was the last day. And then 1 o'clock rolls around. We get at the spot. It was actually the spot where the gun didn't go off. So get out, call, turkey gobble. 3 of them actually gobbled. And
Redemption.
yeah, start working them in. They gobble. They're coming in like they should have. And then there's this little bench on the side of this hill. And they're just hung up. This big one just strutting across this bench at 90 yards. And I have a starter decoy. So I was like, it's last day. Screw it. Let's do it. We get behind this little decoy, and we're sneaking up on him, peeking around at every 20 yards. And he's just standing there looking at us, strutting, gobbling. We get to 15 yards. Then we can see him again because there's just this little bit of brush, and then you can rise up and see. And I'm just standing behind this decoy. He's right behind me. I'm like, don't move. And this turkey's just right behind this tree where he can't get a shot. And it was like magic. As soon as he steps out from behind that tree, I step back and he steps forward and shoots it. And it was a real nice turkey. And it was just an awesome week for turkey hunting.
Yeah, he was blown away with the turkey hunting here. He couldn't have gotten much happier with the week, and that story, whenever he tells it, you guys were just synchronized by then, because there were so many mishaps that whole week. And I just got to message from him that he's going to rebook for rifle season in 2027. But that's cool that now after one season of bear hunting and turkey hunting, you have these clients that are like, okay, I want to go with him because we became hunting buddies.
Yeah, it was like we were appreciative that the gun didn't go off the first day because we had an epic, just rest of the week was awesome.
I didn't believe you that the gun just didn't go off.
It did.
I know it.
Clicked.
I asked, after supper, I pulled you aside. I was like, what'd he do? You're like, no, the gun really didn't
I
go
was
off.
sitting 10 yards behind him, like, clicked the safety off. I watched him load the gun.
I'm sorry, Bubba, I doubted you, but, dude, I've been doing this a while. I've seen very few firearm malfunctions.
Yeah, and, like, he from the South, North Carolina, and, you know, it's a big turkey hunting
Shot
country.
some guns.
Oh, yeah. You know, he knew what he was doing when a turkey's in front of him, like, not moving and just getting the gun ready before the turkey's in front of you. And he did everything perfect. 15 yards and just gun didn't go off. And
That's a guy that the way he is a good hunter.
Yeah.
And he was using us so he doesn't have to come to exactly how we want our hunting outfit to be used. Because then you can just pair up with a good hunter and you go get in the woods and show them epic weeks just like you did.
Right. Like he knew what to do, like set up on a tree, don't move, get your gun on your knee.
We don't get to talk about turkey hunting that much. We just started getting to where clients want to come out for a couple days of turkey hunting. Why don't you tell your turkey hunting story this year?
Which one?
The one you messed up. Senior guide over here with the apprentice. Let's just compare stories.
All right, so I go to my favorite turkey hunting spot, and I haven't did a whole lot of spring bear guiding this spring, so I was just going to be used as the turkey guide while Cody was guiding bears that week because he couldn't be used. So I go there, turkeys gobble just like they're supposed to, right where they should be. He's down in there. I'm like, man, I'm going to look like a rock star. I'm going to be able to do some bragging on old Cody. They had to hunt all week for a turkey. I was like, we're going to kill one the first morning. So I get down there, and the turkey, he's gobbling, hits the ground, gobbles, kind of hangs up a little bit. And another turkey starts coming in, and they kind of get together. And I get real impatient because I told him we were going to be at Minnie's eating breakfast by 8. Or back to the lodge if we were lucky. And I can see this all developing. And I thought the turkey moved off to our left. And I snuck down over the hill to get back when he would, because he would strut back onto this point and we'd be sitting right tight on him. And I walked right like a dummy right down on him. The client, I could have acted like nothing happened because the client didn't see the turkey run off. But I turned around and I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I just ruined your turkey hunt. So yeah, I felt terrible. It's been a while since I just really flubbed the hunt up like that.
You did redeem yourself though.
I did fully redeem myself. We did a little walk. I was like, I know where we can get onto another turkey. So we were hiking down this road. We were going to go do a little setup for when they strut up on this little place. And I'm hearing ravens. And I'm like, and then I hear coyotes. I'm like, well, the turkey hunt's screwed. We're hearing coyotes. I dig in my pack, and I find an elk call. So I start trying to do this prey, like I just squealing on this thing like something dying. Dude, and a bear comes running down over the hill, comes blowing down onto the road, and there we stand with a shotgun because we were going to try to shoot these coyotes. And the bear runs down onto the road and then goes down below the road bank, and we can't see it, and I just see him swing with a gun, and I'm like, oh, here comes the coyote. And then nothing more happens. I never even saw the bear. So I sneak up to the client, and I'm like, what happened? And so he's like, dude, a bear come running down, blowing down on the road. And I was like, well, we need to go get a different firearm. So we take off running back to the truck. We throw on our orange, grab a rifle. We go back in there, and we sit, and we can hear this bear down there on this carcass. And he's pushing ravens off, and we know he's down there, and we set, and then it starts raining on us. And we set, and we set, and we set. And we get a shot right in the evening at 130 yards, but we missed him. And that was the hunt. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was unsuccessful in all my guiding this year, so I'm not doing real good.
You gave him an opportunity, and you and Logan kind of split. It was brothers that came out as a 2-on-1, but the one wanted to turkey hunt, the other wanted to stay bear hunting, so we just threw in our free our free laborer over here.
Free labor.
And he took the guy turkey and bear hunting, but his brother got a really nice bear. It's on our Facebook. It was the chocolate bear. They had a pretty late pack out too with that. We'll never get Logan on the podcast, so we always just have to tell his stories.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun week with those guys. Actually, everybody was good dudes. Easy. Morale was up. It was easy conversations at lunch. That's kind of how I base the weeks. When you're sitting at supper and it's like awkward and you can hear just forks hitting teeth, dude, it's not a very fun week. But everybody's kind of like chatty. I don't like it when it's roaring so loud you got to talk over people. When everybody's like engaging together. We had small groups in Spring Bear, which that also helps in camp when it's just very nonchalant.
Yeah, no more than 4 clients in camp a week. So that was, I think we had a really good Spring Bear season and turkey season.
That's how I like it because you can bounce around a lot Spring Bear hunting. And I don't like a lot of clients in camp because then it frees up the guys to hit a bunch of different country because it's not, you have so much daylight you can hunt guys into the ground.
Yeah.
How was that, like, just getting yourself, like, with enough sleep? Did you have to, like, regulate that? Like, think about it, like, taking naps so that you weren't, like, drowsy and could, like, function the next few days?
I can function pretty well with low sleep, but it is a little difficult getting back to the lodge at, like, 11:15, and then getting up early the next day. But, I mean, sitting on the glass and knob for a while isn't bad, but what I started doing towards the end was sit on the glass knob, and if it's just dead, find a good logging road that I know there's bears on, find bear sign previously, and then sneak in and then crawl out on the way back.
Yep.
Right before dark.
Yeah, honey, he's 19. You're 39. You are the one that needs the naps. He can just be perfectly happy on a little bit of mountain ops. So a lot of the clients they're listening to the podcast to kind of see what bear season was like, but I have a lot of people starting to prepare for their elk and deer archery hunts. So what's some advice that you would give them?
Just hike a lot. Put your boots on and get a pack on and just hike. You can do all you want in the gym, but if you can't hike, you can't be efficient. You can be as strong as anyone, but you just got to put the miles in, get your feet tough so you're not debilitating yourself with torn up feet, and then you just got to be able to hike. Teach yourself how to not stomp through the woods.
I don't know if there's a way to get. I always say mountain biking and this and that, but I don't think anybody really does much anything to get ready. So I would just have your wife beat you. Beat you twice a day for mental fortitude.
Shut up.
No, I think if you build a few fires and spread the coals out and walk across them at least once a day, it'll toughen your feet up, help you out a lot. Jumping rope with barbed wire. These have to be things with consequences. You want to talk about things getting ready? That I was going to ask Cody about is calling, because that's a huge, and he loves the turkey hunt. What are you going to be doing to get ready for archery season?
I'm going to practice with an elk call, running around, trying to hike, stay in shape, keep my legs conditioned, and get prepared to not sleep a lot. Your
calling's good. Like, honestly, we could talk about this. You're pretty good at understanding calling in animals, and not a lot of people get it. They sometimes think that you just sit in spots and make animal noises, and these things just miraculously appear like in movies. It's not like that. You have to like read that animal's temperature, figure out what it's wanting to hear, and go on and on and on. But with the elk, you dove into it with me, and I used you quite a bit last year to call, and I'm going to use you a bunch. You're gonna apprentice again a little bit in archery season, and I talked to you about it. I figured you would be upset about it, but you are excited because you're going to get more knowledge, so that you feel confident going with clients in archery season.
Yeah, like last year I learned way more than I was expecting to learn, but I think another season will just get me my confidence way up, and then I know like every situation just about you can get yourself into with an elk and just figure out their language more.
Yep, and us calling back and forth, and that I'm excited because that anytime you can have more than one caller, it sounds so much more realistic. And that's the ticket, is breaking this elk down where they think that you're elk, even though that you're giving off little cues, because you can't keep dudes from giving off backpack zippers. We do it ourselves. It's just impossible. Yeah, when you can make that sound come from different locations, that's the key.
Right.
That's huge. So I'm excited for this year's archery season. It's going to be fire. Elk numbers are way up. Our biologists are doing a good job.
All the guides are getting ready. Seth drew a coveted elk tag in Utah, so you're gonna be down there in August getting ready.
Yep.
It's just gonna prepare you more for up here, and
No, that's going to be sweet.
pressure's on. Josh has to get Seth an elk before.
Josh has to get Seth an elk.
Josh has to help get Seth an elk before he has a baby, because not only did he draw a very hard tag to draw in Utah, his baby is due just a couple weeks after the opening day. So pressure is on there.
I'm just hoping I can keep up with him. Seth's gnarly. That elk better be in shape. That's all I got to say. That elk better be training for archery season. Yeah, that'll be exciting. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's it. It's summer, so we're going to try and stay on track with these podcasts and get as many of them out as possible. but we've been slacking a little bit. We are going to try and start recording a little bit more and getting on a better schedule. So thank you, everyone, for continuing to listen to the podcasts. And if you have any topics you want us to hit on, just message us on Facebook.
All right. Nope. We're out of here.